Secretary. What I've been very impressed with is the market infrastructure. We had record volume on Friday, and everything is very smoothly very people. They being very to print up and in terms of market reaction, we get these short-term market reactions from time to time. The market consistently they estimates on Trump that kind of things. And first he's talking about heavy, is that everything's working smoothly. Like what? Is this Belarus? Okay, the right now, like, it is something that we think is nice in the markets. Trump to be trash or not working, or because they don't think we should make their training for living. They train for our system and we train what's working, like what? You know, in the United States, something's not working, right? That's not really something bad type situation. That's life. Okay, you know, there's something negative. But we're going to get in there, though, some of those situations. So that's much of the market underestimate Donald Trump best pride and turn everything around. And it's the opposite. What happens separate because we like you were they did this stuff and we're experts. We mentioned well, I really understood market system and capitalism. I started to balance buying and selling and short I understood this kind of market crash and so much of the back of the market were estimating Trump. They all were doing this on the statement. They realized that it wasn't going to work Wall Street. The laws of the market of no. It was going to be a disaster. And they didn't like the price tag between November and they wrote that I don't know, I'm gonna have to ran on their discounting message and they were going to talk about the ledge. They were on. So what always make you mention that language. Probably actually was kind of secretary not saying that's out like he's next. But he's so stupid that it's not really going to get by standing up about him anything child. I don't know about you guys, but I'm much more agitated by somebody that seems to be known to various that's in that category versus somebody who is putting up battle makeup and just trying to get attention to themselves. I don't know. So it's kind of why the David Hedgehogs involved they are mildly off the water and larger deliveries. So they have a lemon to like that right. I'm too close to it from the destination on CBS. So those are the secretaries of the one. So that's what the plan is. So the Treasury Secretary said in another memo, we're going to hold the force. It's not the kind of thing you can negotiate with in days or weeks. That makes it sound like the tariffs are saying it's at least 4 days, 4 weeks. If that goes back, or if the president considering postponing implementation to negotiate. There's still some casting out there. I'm seeing it in my old traditional conservative friends. Always saying negotiation, 16, it's all about some foolish strategic plan. And like it's just the blunt force instrument. It's like, no postponing. No matter how stupid it is, people are pedal to the no. And he goes on to say, reset global trade. Reset global trade. Well, reset global trade. It's a bill for what? Donald Trump, back up to the casino, resetting global trade. We sure that's going to turn out well. One. It's just like some people like it's not good at this weekend because they still make tariffs and trade protections. And then it's I guess that includes you. I guess I would say to you guys, be careful what you're going. Okay. There's some clause in the American let and local order that include a much easier transfer fees around local goods and issues like that for sure. But just because one thing is perfect going to be like best to train it up. Times visions and yours. Same shit with Asian society. And so Donald Trump resetting global trade, that's what you mentioned. That's what's very stuff. I agree with one thing from public. So I'm making that like on social media. I know what you know about it. Here's one thing after should we say one? I don't know. I think people and all of them really so millions of human beings we want to make our that kind of thing to American. That is a bad look. Okay. That is somebody who has not asked a human that works with their hands in many years. Is there there's like one that produces really good screws? That's going to be real high quality work. That's the only time I think you need that job. And that is insane. It's so stupid that I think maybe you tell me it's going to be Chevy's trying to say you're generous of it, then you'll see this that they should say that I was sorry, you're maybe 80% of screws really like companies in their eventually a lot of automated system that does sort of all those screws and then there'll be jobs for Americans to like oversee that and troubleshoot engineer and I guess that's the transition. And we thought that like kind of you're not recommending you should let people what the manufacturing like what manufacturing it's not what this stuff. So I mean you remember the whole Asian migrant thing with these wise and failed that big Asian migrants with guys. There was no sense of manufacturing expect Canada that enough Americans to do the job. So I don't think don't make each other. And even the army like to do these swinging those to make out those they say no American. That was a classic question. Alright. Next up I know she's a suit. She's right to be good secretary that which was standing secretary and she's not just blah. So that's what I should know the budget and that's it. I guess it's not giant round all the countries tariffs are being tariffs can be imposed and what's the extent tariff on the border in McDonald's has zero many habits zero exports get zero imports and we're looking line up maybe more tariffs on kids that are
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity. But for the first time, there's a platform that fixes it by combining everything you need. Projects, chat, and knowledge in one place. It's all called Simply Work AI, so you can find insights from anywhere and introducing Dow, the everything app. And obviously, here's one line. We have been like the technology for the metrics and we lost in our last time was at the end of America goes first. I mean, but listen, the people that are reading this are serious, intentional, patriotic, smart people that work with I would tell them, it's like that secretary has to never culture to say that. There, she's really, one of the workers in English. You know, she will tell you this. She's studying ag in Texas A&M. That means it's smart, she know that. That's that. Just say that. Just say that's no, that's what she will do. But yeah, this is other states. I mean, she's got everything I know. All like that. She got this. Melanie is super fun. So I don't think it's a trend. I'm sure that's these terrible. Maybe you know. And what they need to know the next book. They brought it. The Trump administration to bring in China. That's not China. That's you know. All those bushy. Sometimes the definition of nation got. And class of anti-terror guys in the past. They're just very wants to defense very ambitious and that can have some recognition. No, I was thinking watching the whole that's what I defense terrorist side. This wasn't really anything that I did. That's pushed by balance. Well, why push on terms? Curious. Let's see what this is. I'm not push on there's obviously I'm going to push you to push it and I think those are the decisions I think teachers and speakers are most time thinking about the really fun element of it's not something you know something the conversation why I'm not asking the question why I have so many attitudes and I'm sitting with it and put all the things I think negotiation there's something that you get to even in those things. Not honestly that you get these negotiations considering a lot of negotiations but it's negotiations they don't you're just a big one and bring it to different you know, also do negotiations with the same out there. You know, Ukraine, you know, the other party, the negotiation team, the one with outdated, one that's still suffering bombings every night in their name, just trying to drop them. You know, those guys, less negotiations than anything that they're much going to start to make the thing. That's the thing, the biggest thank yous. Ukraine is also part of that negotiation. That's easy to forget. If you need them. But, so, what's the term about Ukraine? Yes, actually was 10% too rough. It's a funny thing. So, it's not wise and truly we should do this negotiation with extreme thesis. Seems only applying for the background of the negotiation. They won't let us down. So, pretty sure that's all you. Yeah, they do much. There's a particular territory. You can see it's like a railroad that, yeah, lost good territory. Yeah, it's expected better to get out of the question. But we're going to make that. Not great, guys. You know, as much as I would like to Jim Hassett. But no, it's not black. No, I'm really not pretty bad. Training these guys that Trump massive. One that can follow people that real great little trains. Yeah, well, good luck, America. Subscribe to the season. And YouTube fan. You want party. This video, if I'm coming to YouTube, what was it? Or streaming that if you don't want to go not selling any dumb lawsuits, but you can help support work. And you can measure bonus and stuff. Ad free content, bonus videos, live streams, some of those GP measurement against the people. So join, come hang out. Come, we'll work YouTube plus them. I've seen it in comments today. Storage right now. Foundation to plan to be estimated for incremental access to a market as a temple that will fill shadow lines. As long as some of these and that our tariffs will be presentation to you. That is the library of that. So that doesn't want that long. Terrible ID on the 8th of March. Thank you, sir. Still, can you look at the scheme? Not that much, not the message. Just to the medicine. Start with this. I mean, I have to say, right now, it's not going to try to or read the people.
ABC News is this week in George the Dominance.
Tariffs have sent the market spiraling, prices soaring, economists moving into recession, but it's shocked me from the president without signing, said, you know, the camera from all course. His message to Americans, this is an economic revolution, saying, take time. As it does reported, he insisted things were going very well. The market didn't grow, the market didn't grow, and the world has changed. Financial market suddenly speaks since the pandemic. The S&P 500, $400 value of just 2 days. JP Morgan now thinks recession is more likely than not. The president declared a national emergency to justify using a 10% tariff on all foreign imports, a 25% tariff on all cars, and even steel tariffs from roughly 60 countries, including a 34% tariff on imports from China, a 25% tariff on products from South Korea, and a 20% tariff on Italy, Northern Union. Grocery store, and you have to go to your own across the country, businesses say that new lower stories in their prices. That's how those are occasionally that it's expensive. You have to raise prices for the rest of the person. Around the world, local street runners will tell you they are putting a 25% tariff on airplane cars and trucks.
And China is and we take the base that's intended most facts can impact the United States and when impact Europe.
China, people think that the people sabotage will tell all American goods. Sources tell us that all the shelves that deal with the TikTok's U.S. operations will be moving mostly by American investors. Sources say TikTok's parent company told the White House the Chinese government said no to the government so they negotiate those tariffs. It's unclear the White House is interested in the compromise.
She's not going to push issues.
The knowledge of that estimated global trade will increase costs for the average American household between $100 and $200 a year. Now, while some Republicans are using Senator Sanders like this and more Americans.
We're Sarah, 30 days ago, 6 days ago, 9 days ago, new massive American tariffs and massive tariffs. All American being taken into favor. That is a terrible one.
The president is using firm because it's a great time to invest in America, saying, well, the policies will never change. So the president told me that if it is right, they'll naturally be with the United States, legalizing $100. That would take years because the United States president nonsense travel to Washington to meet the president Trump on the White House file, which says that 17% tariff will be around $100. That's all the areas of Sunday. What's the point of this week? First, let's start this. But before Facebook, the market has spoken. But the markets are well, actually now trying to get back on the entire market for American goods. But they're deciding to stay more than notice. I know the politicians, I think this can now escalate, especially for the military, to come in and more. Seems people getting trying to make us struggle. The idea that tariffs on American goods would be they buy so they find millions of American products that was the next day, or that was actually made in China, where American retail stores like Walmart, like Amazon, one of the Chinese made goods, but they are the products that sell market actually said China. That's where much of the stuff there by the line of they some ways they had the benefit. They were actually thinking of also the extra tariffs that ultimately pass on to the Americans. China was going to strike this, but once the Americans thing out, diversifies other markets, so just like economic people is now actually tremendous outrage by tariffs. China is going to it's really odd that this is trade to make over. But some companies like Nike try to avoid Chinese tariffs and bring west out by shifting their operations to places in Southeast Asia like Vietnam, but they now face a massive 46% tariff. The CEO of the large Americans put that into establishing huge targets. Other companies, including Apple, find themselves very vulnerable tariffs against sensitive high goods, but they're not necessarily kind of putting operations back to the US is a realistic solution. Yeah, no, that's total BS. You can just start cutting product also. Yes. We're supposed to do that.
So I thought the quotes were looking at like crazy, but she wasn't. I met her yesterday at a conference and I asked her, how do you look so great?
This is how I made sheet that's three words down, right? No.
Have you seen this video? This picture in the museum in the living room. The picture is called checkmate. The devil's sitting on this side. There's a chessboard, and there's a guy sitting on the other side. And the guy sitting on the other side has his hand on his head like this, and he's like in desperation. And as they were taking a tour through the loop of athletes, and particularly world champions that were being given a special tour, at the end of the tour was the world chess champion. And he comes walking by the picture, and the guy's explaining to him, this is a picture of an artist rendering of somebody who lost the battle with the devil. He said, look on the next picture. This is the next world chess champion. And stayed there, still looking at the picture. And so they noticed that he was not with me. And so the tour guide came back and said, we looked on, we looked down, and he said, well, I've been looking at this picture. And I said, yeah, he said, don't you, man? And that was left, that's lost. And he said, yeah, he said, I've been noticing that. He said, but while I've been standing, I've kept looking at the picture. You know, I'm a world champion chess player. Have you seen this video? This picture? And in desperation. When he said, I noticed something on the chessboard. He said, either they're going to have to change the painting, or they're going to have to change the name. And the guy said, well, why are they going to have to do that? He said, well, you're a world champion chess player. And he said, when I observed the board, I found out, okay, still have one more move. And caught it. And give it. It's all enough. It's evil. But the king still. Oh, I mean, in the fullness of time, God said, son, I dare you to get rid of it. The king has one more move. He has one more finances. He has one more marriage. So, I can see first I believe.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. is absolutely wild. It really is.
Order filled.
Poverty in a group building setting. They're just pulling back. Markets are not falling. They're just pulling back. We can trade a combine, right? Yes, you can, Black Phoenix. Can you please explain? Okay. My goodness. Let's do it. We're going to start off this as we've been talking about it all last week. Jay and Hogue talked about it not too long ago, what, an hour or so, right at the market open. But why not? We'll talk about it again. So now I've seen some really, really horrible advice online and on social media. So I'm calling out everybody who has a following, anybody who has social media and is trying to give advice about indicators, about what they should, what they shouldn't do, that, trading this, trading that. Stop it. Right now, in these market conditions, is no time to screw around, especially for new traders. If you're brand new, if you're still learning how to trade, if you haven't found consistency and you have never traded in an environment like this before, it was 100% better off to not risk your own money. Practice in a practice account. Watch this market. Gain that experience. Be a spectator. Learn. See what everyone's doing. Guess what? 95 or higher percentage, 95% or higher of traders lose money, and that's going to be the case. It's probably even higher now in this type of market environment with the spreads so crazy, this market so crazy, and these huge spreads and market movements. So that's my advice, is to not listen to anybody out there about how to trade this, because there is no textbook on how to trade this. It's just insanity to me when I started scrolling through Twitter and seeing traders talk about indicators, talking about this, talking about that. And it's just, as a new trader, as someone who is trading prop firms, who has never traded something like this before, has never found consistency, it's just insanity to me. So hopefully that makes sense. Douglas PC, so Dakota's buy the dip strat's not working. Well, this is just a little dip. It just keeps on dipping, right? We are back. We are back down here. You could look, you could see we are right back to 2023 levels. These 2023 levels back around July, August, September, October of 2023. It's crazy.
Order filled.
It really is. But let's talk about the 2% rule, because some traders, you either missed all of last week, you missed, Hogue or Coach Jay's opening, maybe you've missed any emails. I know TopStep and even companies around that are prop firms been talking about this same thing. The circuit breakers, talking about these markets in extreme volatility. Whenever a market, not any market, right? I'm going to be talking about the Nasdaq. If the Nasdaq sells off 7%, for example, right now we're down about 4.66. If Nasdaq sells off 7%, it'll halt. It's like a circuit breaker. Now, if we're within 2% of that, aka 5%, then a lot of prop firms, even legit prop firms, right, like TopStep and firms in general,
Order filled.
trading with someone else's money and someone else has that risk, they don't want traders to be in a position like that. That was another stupid thing I seen online. Was saying like, why do prop firms? Why would a firm stop me from trading when we get to these extreme levels? It's like, well, do you want to be stuck in a position if the market halts and if you've seen this gap? Could you imagine all the traders who was in a position over the weekend long, and they see this market gap down, and in 3 minutes we're down 900 points. They're getting a margin call, and there's a reason why brokers there's a reason why brokers increase their margin, right? Everyone understands that. Brokers increase their margin to reduce risk in the market, reduce risk for the clients, and reduce risk for the brokerage, for the firms, right? And there's a reason for that. And I mean, I'm not talking about sim money. Legit prop firms like TopStep, live accounts, real money. And if a trader like myself, let's say I have $50,000 in my account, would you really want a trader with $50,000 in their account enter into 15 contracts right as this market is selling into a circuit breaker with the possibility of anything happening? If we gap down 200 points and we end up gapping so far, it's, over $100,000 loss that the firm has to eat. So this is risk management. Firms are having risk management. Firms are explaining risk management. Brokers are having risk management in the terms of increasing margin rates, increasing overnight margin rates, and they're not increasing them for just like an hour. They're increasing it for almost a month. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the brokers are continuing to increase it, an extended period of time until things start to calm down. It happened before in COVID. It happened before during many volatile times. Live accounts. Yep, live accounts. I mean, some prop firms, it's very important to practice the same risk management in a simulated environment as a live environment. But there's nothing wrong with hopping in a demo account and playing around with it, right? You could hop into a demo account, play around, and take a look. Just understand the simulated fills. There's going to be a difference in a market environment like this. Let's look at the bid and ask. Look at this. Look at the bid and ask. A sim environment, you're going to notice a difference between a sim account and a live account in this type of environment. This is where, man, you talk about fills. It's a lot better now than what it was. You can see the bid and ask is relatively close, and there's actually some liquidity, which is, there's gaps everywhere, right? Look at all these gaps. And there's no orders there. So you're still going to get slippage, but you should have seen earlier. I took a screenshot. Everybody probably seen what it looked like earlier. Let me see if I could pull out that screenshot. Let's see. And you thought, oh man, you want to talk about scary. Look at this. I'm going to zoom in. Where am I going to get filled at? Right? In a live account. Where do you get filled? I mean, you're at 777 and the next bit, like where? And there's 10 points, 15 points worth of a spread. You market order and instantly down 200 points or $200. Like, it's insanity. Why would you ever want to risk anything in this market unless
order filled,
you have that confidence, unless you've been here before? Maybe you trade very, very small, right? So we're comparing the DOMs again. So we're going to compare this DOM, see how this DOM, where it's like maybe 3 or 4 points now, the bid size, ask size, 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s. And then we take a look at the micros and look at the micros. That's a lot better, right? A lot better. This is healthier. There's more liquidity in micros. So if you are trading, micros is going to be the way to go. It's $2 per point. And if it's something that it's like an itch that you must scratch in a practice account, test it out. I would really encourage traders to just switch to a practice account, test it out, see for yourselves, and just watch and see how these things react. And we take a look at the Nikkei. You want to see a market? Look at the Nikkei. Man, it's been selling off pretty dramatic. This market's insane. Let's get to it. What are we looking at? What do we do? What do we do tonight? I mean, it just kind of hands on butts for me. We are, like I said, back down into this level, crossing through the 16,000. Now, not too long ago, we were up here at 22,000s here in the Nasdaq, and that's what, we're 27% from the all-time high, 27%. I mean, everyone wanted a discount, right? This is a discount. Is this a discount where we buy a little bit on longer term portfolio. Not day trading. Day trading is a different story, but longer term assets starting to look a little attractive, to be honest. You're on the follow, Dakota. Hands on butts or butts on hands. Buy the dip. This is the dip, right? On the daily perspective, technicals are out. I don't feel enough confidence to say and look to the left and say, maybe we go visit October's low in 2023, 15,000. I think at this point, everyone's watching news. Everyone's watching what's going on. Everybody is paying attention to tariffs this, tariffs that. And look at this news. Look at all this news coming out. This is tonight, right? Look at all these headlines coming out. So this volatility is here, and it looks like this volatility is definitely here to stay. We could go through and see what news events are coming out, but to be honest, I'm not really paying too much attention to a lot of the news events, other than obviously FOMC meeting minutes. That's and test where we opened. And I've seen this happen a lot, right? And then sell off from there. It's going to be a lot of wait and see for me to watch to see how this market reacts. Like I said, we're hovering right around that 5% level. It seems like the last 3 days, 5%'s been a key level. Obviously, TopStep talks about it because, XFAs and live accounts shouldn't be opening up new positions and runs that risk of being liquidated. Like I said, we have risk managers. They're watching it live. They're seeing everyone's trades. They're monitoring risk. But it's been interesting, that 5% level, like we are right around there, wherever it's at. This is basically the zone. And if we look, each one of these days, every one of these days that we've seen this major sell-off, that level has been interesting, right? It really has been interesting. Whenever we sold off, we've held 5% for a little bit. We've kind of, consolidated, chopped around there. Tonight, we're kind of trying to hold above 5%. Well, we're going to chop around there. It's early. It really is early. The Asian session just opened up. You can see it opened up not too long ago. We have the London session starting. We have a new London session. We have London Open, right? New London Open. We also have London with D, and then the New York session. So a lot of great
order
stuff
filled
coming. Those gaps are a graveyard created by flood bears. What if us companies move overseas until... I'm not reading half this stuff. Bull run starts Wednesday after FOMC. Is it FOMC or is it just the minutes? Wednesday should just be the FOMC minutes, is what I thought I read. We have a lot of Fed speakers talking, right? Is CPI and is... Goldman Sachs estimates that the new 34% rate... we have headlines coming out all night. Look at this. Headlines. Even as I pulled that up, we had another one hit. We expect China to accelerate easing measures significantly. It's anything. Yeah, we have data. How much is CPI going to care? Is CPI going to matter very much? Maybe it's going to matter less than what it used to. Probably. A lot of speakers. Where's Wednesday? Where's Wednesday at for the Fed? FOMC. Am I just being blind? FOMC minutes. Yeah, it's the minutes. It's just the minutes. Let's look at the 5-minute. Look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, these are insane movements. Look at these moves. 300 points up, 330, followed by, obviously, that's going to be very close. 330, almost 300 there.
Order filled.
And then again, another basically equal. Like these are big moves. And now, to put in perspective, if you want to see what that perspective is, everyone probably knows what I'm going to go to. Average true range. What is an average true range here on the 5-minute chart? Ooh, let's take a look. we
245, 120.
Oh my gosh. I didn't notice this. We were more volatile tonight than we were when President Trump
I'm gonna show you
announced the
something.
tariffs. When the tariff announced, it was 128 points every 5 minutes. Tonight we got up to 138. So we are more volatile tonight at the open than we were when the tariffs originally were announced on Liberation Day. So it's been more volatile. We're higher in volatility than we were for the New York session. And now putting this in perspective, look, this is volatile. This is a very volatile market. Now, what do we call this? Right? If this was a volatile market, what do we call this? And we could even zoom out more, and you guys could see what I'm referring to. And I thought this was volatile. I mean, let's go back to these days where we were in a 40, 50 point 1 hour range, or 80, like an average true range in an hour chart was 40 points. This thing is just skyrocketing. 283 points every hour for an average true range. The market just opened. It's just going straight up. This was volatile. We are so much higher than when we were. I mean, right there, April 4th. Since just straight up, it's just a sight to behold. So much for slow markets. Yeah, this is not slow markets. This is fast markets 2.0. Fast markets 2.0.
That's where you got in. That's where you got out. 300.
If this is Liberation Day, okay, let's go through. I need to stop reading chat. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna watch these markets. I don't want to put anything at risk. I have, like